Let's start with prayers again. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swaminitha Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय नित्य गौर प्रेमानंद हरे हरे बोल हरे कृष्णा कैन यू ऑल हियर मी
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
all right so let me start sharing my screen. Okay, so we are going to discuss from today for approximately 30 maybe or 35 days on this entire Ramayanam series. So we will discuss the 7 kandas I will be giving the class on, starting with Balakanda, Ayodhya Kanda, Aranya Kanda, Kishkindha Kanda, Sundara Kanda, Yuddha Kanda, and the final one, the 7th one, is Uttara Kanda or Uttara Ramayana. So we'll discuss all of them in these 30 to 35 days. Okay, so by Ramnavami, I'm planning to end the Yuddha Kanda. If possible, Uttarakanda. If not, then we will all take few like 2 or 3 days more to finish the Uttarakanda. So in Sanatana Dharma itself, right, we primarily have Vedas, and in these scriptures, you know, 1 minute. Which screen do you all see? Can you tell me?
We see where there is some homam being done.
Oh, photo. You see the photo, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Photo of Dashrath.
Of Dasharatha Maharaj. You're doing
Yes,
it. Yeah.
yes.
All right. Yeah. I just want to make sure. Just 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. So in Sanatana Dharma we have these Vedas. Okay, and in these scriptures one can find how a human should lead his life, and that is why it is called Shastram. Shasanat iti Shastram. That is, it commands. What does it command? To do this and don't do this. That means basically the do's and the don'ts are what the Shastram says. So it will be easy if someone shows us this, what are the do's and what are the don'ts, instead of just giving the a list of do's and don'ts. So the Lord himself advents from Vaikuntha and he shows us by example in all his, and one of that prime incarnation of the Lord is Lord Sri Ram. So if only Vedas are compiled, one may not understand properly. So the Lord, in his other incarnation, as literary incarnation, as a Krishna Dvaipayana Veda Vyasa. We call Veda Vyasa, right? His full name is Krishna Dvaipayana Veda Vyasa. He compiled all the knowledge of Vedas through histories, because it is very easy. Just listening to some story and understanding that instruction is very easy than just reading or someone learning the instructions. So that's why we have Itihasas and Puranas. And so the scriptures, they explain the meaning of Vedas very easily. So Itihasa means iti, like this, hasa, happened. It happened only like this. So it is basically a history when the main character of that entire Mahabharata, when it was happening, he's still physically walking on the earth. So Puranas are Purna iti Puranaha. They are little old. They can be passed. It will talk about all the three times, like past time, present, and the future. So that is Purana. So we have 18 Puranas, and Itihasas are like Ramayana and Mahabharata. So they were compiled when the main character was still on the planet. So Ramayana was composed when Lord Sri Ram was still ruling this planet. So what does the Sri Ramayanam has? It has both Shri. Shri means none other than Sita Mata herself. So we have a history of Sita Devi, who is the consort of the Lord. We have the history of all the devotees in this Ramayanam. We have the history of the Supreme Lord and even the demons. And wherever there's a glorification of Ramayana, Hanuman is automatically present there. So even through Zoom call, Prabhuji, yes, because we are all discussing in his a different form. He will be, because he gave that word in Uttara Ramayana when we discuss. I will explain that at the end when the Lord was disappearing from this planet, he asked Hanuman to stay, and Hanuman also says, yes, I will be there here, listening to your glories. Wherever Ramayana is spoken, I will be personally there. So who composed this Ramayana? So this Ramayana is composed by Valmiki Maharshi himself. And he composed in 7 kandas or 7 cantos. He composed in 7 cantos in 24,000 verses. And this is just the summary only, because there is something called as Moola Ramayanam. Moola Ramayana is which is there in Satyaloka. And there the number of verses in Ramayana is 1 billion verses. They have very long time, so they have, there are many other pastimes of Lord Rama where they have captured, and it is there. So for Martyaloka, for humans, Valmiki Maharshi gave only like few thousand. That is 24,000 shlokas only. And this is the next verse, which says, Valmiki Maharshi himself says this, Kavyam Ramayanam Kritsnam Sitayaha Charitam Mahat Paulastyavadham Ityeva Chakara Charitavridaha. We could say that this history in 3 ways. First one, Kavyam Ramayanam. You can say it as Ramayana. It means the path which is taken by Lord Ram or Lord Rama's story, history. Sitaya's Charitam Mahat. This is Sita Devi's Charita or her story. Or you can say Paulastyavadham. Pulastya Brahma is the grandfather. So Paulastya, grandfather of Ravana. So Paula says the grandson of Pulastya Brahma, his Vadha means killing, destruction. Ityeva Chakara Charitavratha. You can call this in these names. But I have given this Kavyam, the entire poetry, as Ramayana. So Ramayana is a Kavyam, but that means it's a poetry. It will be like a poem. So that is why in the even now, I think, yes. So in the recent times, one of the kings of the Chera, that is in Kerala, he especially made he requested all the Carnatic musicians to come to his palace, and recite all these 24,000 verses in a Carnatic musical fashion in that meter. So it is called Kavyam, it is poetry. So now, who is Valmiki Maharshi? So let me give you a short sketch of Valmiki's life. So Maharshi Valmiki, he was born as Ratnakara, okay, to a sage. His name is Prachetasa. But at a very young age, he got lost in the forest. And a hunter, he took him under his care and he trained him. The hunter father trained him very nicely. And this Ratnakara came out to be a very great, excellent hunter. Later on, when he came to the right age, he got married to a very beautiful girl. And as his family grew, he found it very difficult to maintain them. So, as a result, he took to robbery. He was robbing the wealth of the people. Whoever is passing in the forest, he used to rob them, and then he used to maintain the family. So he always hides by the side of a forest pathway, because those times whenever they have to cross, they have to travel, there'll be all around, there'll be forests. Only within the city or within and around the city or a town, there will be. Yeah, sorry. So within or with. Within and around that city or town, there will be some farming lands or the residential quarters. Otherwise, all the remaining places, there are forests. So all of them have to pass through those forests to travel. And this was a very good place for Ratnakara to rob. And along that pathway, one day, the great sage Narada Maharshi, Narad Muni, he came. And he was just walking very peacefully. He was just admiring the beauty of the forest, and he was singing the glories of the Lord, thinking of the Lord. Because he is always in devotion and he is a creator. So whenever he sees anything beautiful, he remembers the Lord, how beautifully the Lord has created. And at that time, Ratnakara attacked him. And what was Narad Muni doing? He was just playing some kirtans on his veena. And as Ratnakara was looking at Naradji, his cruel mind, little by little, it melted. So at first, like he said in a very strong voice, you give me everything, whatever the wealth you have. But as he started looking at him, he melted, and Narad Muni asked, what are you trying to do? He said, I'm robbing you. Then he said, why are you robbing? He said, I have to maintain my family, I have to maintain my life, I need to rob. So who will take the sins of these actions that you're doing? Narad Muni asked. Ratnakara said, I think we all share, like me and my family, everyone. Then Narad Muni said, okay, go back home and ask them if they will take part in any of your sins. So he was very sure, Ratnakara. He said, why not? They will go, they will take the share. So he went home. He asked his father, he asked his mother, that I'm doing all this, committing all the sins to maintain you. Will you, share my sins? Can you take over few sins? They said, why? We will not do that. It is your duty as a son to take care of parents and the family. So we will not do that. You have to, it is your headache. Then he went and asked his son, will you share? The father, why will I share? I'm just a small boy. Don't overburden me with all those loans of or the sins. Then his last shelter was his wife. So when he went to his wife, the wife also said the same thing, that it is your duty to earn for this family and provide us. So, but we don't want to share your sins. So he became very depressed, and he went back to where Narad Muni was, and he told, no, my family is not going to take part in any of the sins. Then he said, but then why are you committing these sins? So maybe I was an illusion, I don't know. So he surrendered unto Narad Muni. And he said, whatever you now instruct me, I will do it. So Narad Muni said, you sit below this tree and you chant, you do tapasya. And Valmiki Maharshi, he's a dacoit, right? He doesn't know. So he said, what kind of a tapas? He said, just keep chanting Rama, Shri Rama. So he could not pronounce it. Rama, Lama was coming. So he couldn't pronounce. Then he said, what is this tree under which you're sitting? It's called Mara. So at least say that. Keep saying Mara, Rama, Rama, Rama. So automatically the word Rama came. And he started meditating like that. And few years passed away. And Narad Muni, he travels from planets to planets only for preaching the glories of the Lord. So again, when he came in his next trip just to say, okay, what is my disciple doing? Is he still there, or has he fallen back? He saw that there is nobody there in that place. He could not find anyone, but he found an anthill. And he saw that the sound of Rama was vibrating from inside of the anthill. So then Narad Muni, actually by the mercy of Narad Muni and also Varuna. Varuna was the rain god, or the demigod for water. So he poured rain there. And from that, when all that mud was cleared, there was Valmiki Muni inside. Ratnakara inside. Now Narad Muni said, O Valmiki, that means Valmikam means anthill, actually. So you, the one who have emerged as a new person, completely purified from anthill, Valmiki. So that is why the spiritual master gave that name to him, Valmika. Then immediately he came back to his senses. Means he has done that tapasya for many years. For many, many years. So Narad Muni was his guru. Okay. And later, by the instructions of Narad Muni, of his guru, Valmiki Maharshi, he built a small ashram on the banks of the river Tamasa. Tamasa river is one of the tributary to Ganga. Okay, it falls near, in Uttar Pradesh it falls. So he built a small hermitage there for himself. And as he was living there, slowly and slowly, more disciples started coming there. Like from small kids to elder kids, they all started coming there to learn from Valmiki. Because by this time, by the impact of his Guru Maharaj, of this Narad Muni, he became very well versed with the Vedas, with all the Upanishads, everything, Sarva Shastra. So he became well versed with all of those. And slowly and slowly, the disciples started coming there. And Bharadwaja was one of the disciples of Valmiki. So he was also living along with Valmiki in the ashram. So when this was happened, once Narad Muni visited again just to see how his disciple is doing. So we, like, if you talk about myself, I'm coming in this disciplic succession of Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. So, and if you see this disciplic succession, the Sampradaya, Vaishnava Sampradaya, one of the four Vaishnava Sampradaya, it starts from Brahma, and then the next disciple in that line is Narada. And from Narada, it is Vedavyasa. So we also fall under the same Vaishnava Sampradaya. And Valmiki is a contemporary, another disciple. So contemporary to Vyasadeva. They're all disciples of the same Guru. So Narad Muni came to the ashram. The moment he came, Valmiki Muni, he was just sitting there on an asana. He immediately got up and he paid obeisances. He paid pranama to his Guru Maharaj. And he served he worshipped him, he washed his feet, and then served him with various, prasadam, and worshipped him with good all the paraphernalia. So he gave a very nice hospitality to his Guru. At that time, Valmiki asks with folded hands, some questions to Narad Muni. So Maharshi, one of the meaning, Narada Maharshi, Valmiki Maharshi, we say, it means that one, who can see what is not visible to common eye. That is a Maharshi. So now there is a conversation between two great sages. And obviously they wouldn't talk some mundane worldly matters. If such great personalities are talking, one must put all their ears and full attention to that questions and to that conversations, because those will be beneficial for the entire world. Means to deliver the humanity from all the problems. Okay, from this point onwards, this is a prologue. I just give you the background. From this point onwards, Ramayanam starts. So Valmiki himself is explaining in what condition Ramayanam was composed. So the first shloka is Tapasvadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidam varam Narada paripapracha Valmikir Munipungavam. Let me find out that verse. Okay, it's not there. Sankshepa Ramayanam. Let me see that. Yeah. Okay. Guha 1, 2. Where here? Yeah. See. Let me. This is the first verse. Tapaswadhyaya niritam tapasvi vagvidamvaram naradam paripapracha Valmikir Munipungavam. So here Valmiki is glorifying Narad Muni. Tapaswadhyaya, one who has performed great austerities and meditation and who has practiced them very well. Not like doing tapasya for some time and again going back to the worldly matters and again you start. No. Swadhyaya, nirantaram, always. So he's the one who has great wealth of knowledge and then who practices or follows as per the instructions of Vedas. Only then he gets the ability to talk about the Vedic literature. To such a great Maharshi or a sage, Valmiki is asking the question. So in the first verse, he is basically glorifying Lord Narada Muni. And the second one verse, he's asking the question, Kon vasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmagnyascha kritagnyascha satyavako dridavritah. So he's asking, my dear Guru Maharaj, is there a person with this below 16 qualities right now who is living? Not previously, not like in the previous yugas or something. Is there anyone who is living right now? So what are those? The qualities he's saying Gunavan, Sampratam Loke, Gunavan. Okay, I will read this shloka, everything, and then I will explain. Only first few shlokas I will go verse by verse. Otherwise, the entire thing will be story because this is very important thing to listen. Konvasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmagnyascha kritagnyascha satyavakyo dridavritah charitrena chako yuktah sarvabhuteshu kohitah vidvan kakah samarthascha कश्चैक प्रिय दर्शनः आत्मवान् को जितक्रोधो द्युतिमान् को अनसूयकः कस्य बिभ्यति देवाश्च जातरोषस्य संयुगे. So Valmiki Maharshi is giving now. He's telling, is there someone who is Gunavan, means who's got a very beautiful character, Viryavan, who is very valorous, who is very brave, Dharmagnaha, who follows the dharma, rules and regulations, who knows the culture, Kritagnyascha, who is very grateful. Okay, that means very thankful. Even the smallest help you do, he'll be very thankful. Satyavakyo, who is very truthful. Dridhavrataha, who follows the rules and regulations without deviation. Firmly fixed. Dridhavrataha means firmly fixed. Charitrena, whose character is very chaste, very pure. Sarvabhuteshu kohitaha, that means Sarvabhuteshu is all living entities, and hitaha, who is very merciful to them, for good of them. Then Vidwan, very knowledgeable. Samarthascha, who is capable to do anything. Samartha means who is capable to do all the things. Kashchaika Priyadarshanaha, who is lovable to everyone. That means, see, Priya means being very loving to someone. So Priyadarshanaha means if you look at like Lord Rama, that person will automatically get will feel the loving propensity within him towards Lord Rama. Even just looking at him, that person will start loving him. So the other way is someone who gives pleasure to someone who sees himself. That is Priyadarshanaha. Atmavan, who is self-sufficient. Atma Rama, self-sufficient, who can achieve anything without anyone's help, is Atmavan. Jita Krodho, who has conquered Krodha. Krodha means anger. Jita means to conquer. See, conquering anger is very difficult. You will get anger, but conquering them means if it is the right situation to be angry, then you will be angry. Even if it is not the right situation to be angry, and even the circumstances provoke you, you will not become angry. So that anger is completely in your control. So that is Jita Krodho. Dyutiman, who has effulgence coming out of his body. Dyuti means brightness. Okay. Anasuyakaha. Anasuyakaha mean who doesn't have any jealousy or enviousness. Asuya means jealousy, and anasuya means one who does not have this enviousness. Bhibhyati devaha. See, this is a great word. Bhibhyati devaha. Devaha means all the demigods. Bibhyati. Kasya bibhyati means even demigods fear that person. So this means that this could be none other than the Supreme Lord himself. See, you will find all the demons like, Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. Even to them, actually, the demigods are afraid. Maybe this one will match. How about the other one? Dharmagyaha, Kritagyaha, they don't have all that. So in another way, Valmiki Maharshi is asking, did the Lord incarnate right now? Is there an incarnation of the Lord right now? So you see, even one quality in full, one quality, Atmavan or Jitakrodho, it is very difficult in this entire material creation. You will see Brahma gets angry whenever he should not get angry. There are, so many instances where the demigods get angry, the sages get angry. But is there a person like that? So these 16 qualities that Valmiki Maharshi is asking, is there a person right now who is living? So he is very specific. That person, etadichhamyaham shrotum param kautuhalam hime maharshe tvam samarthoshi jnatumeva evam vidham naram. Is there a person right now in this loka, on the same planet where I am living? Is there a person? Now, Narad Muni, he replies, Bahavo durlabhaschaiva ye tvaya kirtita gunaha mune vakshamyaham buddha tairyuktaha shruyatam naraha. Narad Muni is saying, my dear Valmiki, the qualities that you have asked is very, very rare. It is unattainable even for a human. Okay? But, however, I know there is one person like that. The moment he says, he goes, into deep meditation, thinking of that person, and his voice choked. He went into ecstasy, and he came back from the ecstasy, and then he replied. What did he reply? Ikshvaku Vamsha Prabhavo Ramo Nama Janaishrutaha Nityatma Mahaviryo Dyutiman Dhritiman Vashi. He says that yes, there is one person in the dynasty of Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku Vamsha. Vamsha means dynasty. One person is there, and his name is Ramo. Ramo Nama. Nama means name. His name is Rama. And then Narad Muni says, why 16? I'll give you more 16, some more 16 qualities about that person. He is, so I'll quickly tell, Nityatma Mahaviryo Ditiman Dhritiman Vashi Buddhiman Nitiman Vagmi Shriman Shatranu Barhanaha Vipulamsho Mahabahu Kambo Grivo Mahanuhu Mahorasko Maheshwaso Gudha Jatrurindhamaha Ajanubahu Shushiraha Sulalataha Suvikramaha. Like that, he gives another 16. So there are totally 32 qualities that Valmiki gives. Okay, and just 1 minute. Dhairya. Kausalyanandivardhanaha, where is that coming? Vedavan gada dhanurvede chanishtidha sarva shastra sarvavidpataha swasarva Vishnu satrisho kalakrinjaha jeshtham. Yeah, okay, all right. So Narad Muni is saying, you know who is that person? He is none other than Kausalyananda Vardhanaha. He is the one who gives happiness to Mother Kausalya. Kausalya is the mother of Lord Rama. And he is Sarva Gunopetaha. He is embodied with all the merits. He is like an ocean in profundity. He is, he is Dhairya Himavan. By courage, actually, he's like a mountain, like Himalayas. And then Narad Muni gives the Sankshepa Ramayana. So in short, Narad Muni explains the entire Ramayana in a summary. So so many times you will find this summary of the Ramayana being recited in the entire Ramayana series. So this is the first time that a summary is happening. And whoever even hears this will attain very great benefit. So with utmost attention, please try to hear. So he started like this, There was a king, his name is Dasharatha, who is the emperor of Koshala kingdom. And with an intent of doing some good to the people, he wanted to coronate his eldest son, Rama, who has the best of the qualities. And Rama, he is always concerned for the welfare of all the living entities on the planet Earth. So Dasharatha's dear wife, Kaikeyi, she saw the arrangements of the coronation of Lord Rama. That's taking place. Earlier, she was given 2 boons by Dasharatha, and she did not utilize them. But now she wanted to take advantage of the situation, and she asked 2 boons from Dasharatha right before the coronation of Lord Rama. The first boon is the banishment of Rama himself. The second is her son, that means Kaikeyi's son, Bharata, must be coronated as the king, prince. So Dasharatha had 3 principal wives. She had many other wives, but principal wives are 3. Kausalya is the one, eldest. Then the second principal wife is Sumitra, and the third one is Kaikeyi. So Rama was born to Kausalya, Lakshmana and Shatrughna was born to Sumitra, and Bharata was born to Kaikeyi. So Kaikeyi wanted this entire kingdom for her son. So she asked these boons. So bound by the promises that he made, King Dasharatha, he exiled his very dear son Rama to the forest. And as directed by his father, and to keep his father's word, Lord Ram, who is very great warrior, he went to the forest just to please, so that Kaikeyi will be pleased. Mother Kaikeyi will be very pleased. And when he was going on an exile, his brother Lakshmana also followed him out of deep affection to his elder brother. Mother Sita, who is the wife of Lord Ram, she has all the good characteristics. She's the best of all women. She also followed Rama to forest. The citizens of Ayodhya and his father Dasharatha, they were following Lord Rama for some distance because they started from the palace, and as they were going, all the citizens, they also followed Rama to some distance. And then they all turned back because Rama and his group, they escaped. Otherwise, the entire kingdom was empty. They said, we will also come along with you. So Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, and some of the associates, they escaped from that group, and later they met a tribal chief. His name is Guha, and he met them on the banks of Ganga River in a town which is named as Shringaberapura. So after that, Guha, Lakshmana, Sita, and Ram, they all bid farewell to Sumantra. So Sumantra is the minister of Dasharatha, who brought Sita, Rama, Lakshmana on a chariot from the palace to this exiled forest place. Now this trio, that is Sita, Rama, and Lakshmana, they were wandering from forest to forest. They were crossing many rivers, and they reached the ashram of Bharadwaja. This is another Bharadwaja, not the same Bharadwaja as the Valmiki Maharshi disciple, another Bharadwaja. And by the blessings and the instructions of Bharadwaja Muni, the trio, they established their hermitage on a mountain called Chitrakuta. And they lived happily and very delightfully in the woods, just like demigods and Gandharvas. So when Rama reached Chitrakuta mountain, the other parallel story was Dasharatha. He came back to Ayodhya, and he was full of grief for his son, and he was lamenting, and he left his body. And after the departure of Dasharatha, Vasishtha Muni was the principal guru, the spiritual master of Ikshvaku dynasty. This Rama's dynasty is Vasishtha, sage Vasishtha. So Vasishtha Muni and along with other Brahmanas, they approached Bharata to take the post of the king and rule the kingdom. But Bharat Maharaj, he refused and he denied the proposal. Bharat Maharaj, he convinced all the Ayodhya Vasis, the citizens of Ayodhya, to go to the forest, meet his brother Rama, and convince him to come back to Ayodhya and coronate him as the king of Koshala. So when they all went, and Bharat Maharaj, he put forward, they met, the entire group, they met Sita, Rama, Lakshmana in the Chitrakuta mountain, and they put forward this plan to come back and take the throne. But Lord Ram, he refused to agree. He said that I have to keep the word of our father. But all the Bharata and all the sages, they persisted on this, that you come back. But Rama also turned them down. Finally, Rama gave his slippers or the shoes, padukas, to Bharata, and he said, you can rule the kingdom with this, through this, my slippers or the padukas will be my representation to rule over the kingdom. So Bharata, although he was half fulfilled, he returned, taking the Lord's padukas on his head from Chitrakuta mountain to the kingdom in the and he did not go to the Ayodhya city at all. he took shelter of a nearby village which is called Nandigram. So touching the sandals or the slippers of Rama every day, Bharata Maharaj used to rule the kingdom and he used to await for Rama's arrival. After the return of Bharata, Rama, with Sita Mata and Lakshmana, they also left the hermitage of Chitrakoot mountain and they entered the Dandaka forest, Dandaka Aranya. After entering the Dandaka Aranya, Rama killed so many demons. One of the demons is Viradha. And then he met great sages. Sharabhanga Muni is one of them. Sutikshna Muni, Agastya Muni, and Agastya Bhrata, the brother of Agastya Muni as well. And when he went there, with great delight, Agastya Muni gave Indra's bow, Lord Indra's bow, along with the sword, 2 quivers. Those 2 quivers were with never-ending arrows. That means the arrows will keep on coming. They will never end. So like this, Lord Rama was ruling the forest, protecting the sages from demons, killing the demons, and Bharata Maharaj was ruling the kingdom of the humans. And during his stay, actually all the great sages and people in the forest, they approached the Lord for protection from demons. And Rama promised them that he would kill the demons and protect them. So while living there, one of the demoness, that is Surpanakha, who can change her, who can disguise as she can take any form of the body that she likes. So she came in disguise, wanting the association, of Rama, but she was disfigured by Lakshmana. By listening to Surpanaka's distress, Surpanaka's brothers were there, Khara, Dushana, and Trishira. They all came to attack Lord Ram. But Rama killed them, not only just the Khara, Dushana, but along with them 14,000 demons. The entire army came to attack Rama. And Rama, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, they were just at that time they were in the hermitage in Panchavati. But when this war started, Lakshmana took Sita Devi to a nearby cave as per the orders of Ram, and Ram himself fought. Within 48 minutes, he destroyed the entire 14,000 demon army. Ravana, now they're all part of Ravana's army. So Ravana heard that his army and relatives were killed in Janasthana. That is a place where Rama killed them. Now, hearing this episode, Ravana, he asked the help of a demon, Maricha. And Maricha tried to tell him, Ravana, don't do this. Enmity with Rama is not at all good. But Ravana did not listen to his advice, and he went to the hermitage of Rama, taking Maricha with him. So Maricha is in disguise of a golden deer. And he took away the 2 princes, that is Rama and Lakshmana, away from hermitage. In their absence, Ravana kidnapped Sita. As he was taking Sita Devi towards the kingdom, Lanka, his kingdom name is Lanka, the big bird, the Jatayu, he tried to rescue Mother Sita, but Ravana killed Jatayu. He injured Jatayu to such an extent that he cannot even fly. His wings were cut off, and Jatayu fell on the ground. And Rama and Lakshmana, by the time they killed Maricha, the golden deer, and they realized that Sita Devi was kidnapped, and Rama was extremely depressed by that, and he was searching everywhere. And at that time, in their search, they found that Jatayu was lying there down. And from Jatayu, they got the information that Sita Devi was abducted by Ravana, and he went in the southern direction. Right after saying this, Jatayu, he died. Then they performed, Rama and Lakshmana performed the funeral rites for Jatayu, and then they proceeded further down south, and they encountered a demon called Kabandha. So they both killed the Kabandha, and they cremated Kabandha in the ground, and from that cremation, a divine form appeared from the demon's body. Then advised Rama and Lakshmana to go and see the devotee. Her name is Shabari, and from there you go to the a mountain and meet Sugriva there. So they went to Shabari's ashrama, and Shabari, she worshipped Lord Ram. Then right in front of Lord Ram, Shabari left her body. And because she entered into the fire, and from there she actually went to the place where her spiritual master is serving. Then Rama and Lakshmana, they went further south, and then they met the monkey. His name is Hanuman, on the banks of the Pampa river. So as per the advice of Hanuman, Rama and Sugriva, they took on oath. Sugriva is another monkey. He was banished again, just like how Rama was exiled. Sugriva was banished by his brother from the kingdom. So both Rama and Sugriva, they took an oath on the fire to be very good friends. And Rama described all the story from the beginning till the abduction of Sita. And Sugriva also described his story, and he told about the strength of his brother Vali. And Rama promised to kill Vali. But Sugriva, he doubted, and he asked Rama to do two things. One is to move the skeleton of a great demon who was killed by Vali, and the second one is to actually hit the trees, Shala trees. Rama did both of the things, and Sugriva got full confidence that he can kill Vali. So convinced by this, Sugriva, he took Rama to Kishkintha. Kishkintha is a place where Vali lives, and both of them have fought. And as they were fighting, Rama released the arrows and killed Vali. And after killing of Vali, Sugriva took over the kingdom, and after the rainy season was over, Sugriva sent out the army of monkeys in all the 4 directions to search for Sita. So searching in the southern direction, came Hanuman, and they met Sampati. Sampati is the brother of the Jatayu bird. So Sampati said, yes, I can see Sita Devi standing right here. She is in Lanka. Across the ocean, there is an island of Lanka. So in that Lanka, Sita Devi is there sitting under the Ashoka tree. So taking this word, Hanuman, just alone, he jumped and crossed the great ocean. And that ocean the distance was 100 yojanas, that is 800 miles long. In one jump, he crossed 800 miles. So after reaching the city of Lanka, which is ruled by Ravana, Hanuman saw Sita Devi, who was always thinking of Lord Ram, and he gave the ring of Rama to Sita. And he told her all the news, including the friendship with Sugriva, and he tried to console her. And on his return, he destroyed the tower in that Ashoka forest. He killed the commanders-in-chief of Ravana's army. He killed the 7 sons of ministers, and also son of Ravana, his name is Akshaya Kumar. Akshay Kumar is the one of the son of Ravana. So then they tried to insult him more by burning the tip of his tail. Then using that as the as the torch of fire, Hanuman, he burned the entire city of Lanka except where Sita lived. Except that Ashokavana, the entire Lanka was burning. Then he returned to Kishkindha, where he gave good news to Rama. And after that, Rama, along with Sugriva, they reached the shores of the great ocean. And Rama was doing penance to please the Samudra Deva, the demigod for the ocean. But he was not even seen. So he created a great disturbance in the ocean by his arrows. And immediately the Lord of the ocean, he presented himself in his true form. And he said he will help Rama in all the ways, and said, Rama, you can build a bridge over this. So Rama, with the help of all the monkey army, he built a bridge over this ocean, and they all crossed the ocean, and they reached the city of Lanka. So Rama, there was a great war between Rama and Ravana. And after killing Ravana, Rama rescued Sita. And but Rama was very much, when he rescued, he did not speak to her. This is there in the Sankshepa Ramayana. So he asked her to enter into the fire. So at that time, the Maya Sita was gone, and the original Sita was presented to Lord Ram in the hands of Agni Deva. So just by this action, great action of Raghava, all the three worlds, including the movable and immovable beings, devas, sages, everyone became happy after both Rama and Sita and Rama, they were together. So after installing Vibhishana as the king of Rakshasas of the Lanka, and completing all the other duties, Rama and Sita, all of them, they came back. In between, they also give life to all the monkeys who died there in the war. So Rama, surrounded by all his friends, they started towards Ayodhya in a plain, in a flower plain actually, which is called Pushpaka Vimana. They returned to Bharadwaja's Muni's ashram. Then Rama sent Hanuman to Bharata to tell that Rama is on the way. So later Rama, he arrived at Nandigram, where Sugriva was waiting. Sorry, Bharata was waiting for Ram. And when they met, Lord Ram, along with his brothers, they removed the matted hair, which is called Jatajutam. So if you see the sages, right, they all have matted hair. So they removed the matted hair, all the brothers. And along with Sita, Lord Rama assumed the post of the king. So the people of Ayodhya, they became filled with happiness, and they were very satisfied. And they were looked after very well. And the people were very just. They were devoid of any diseases. They were very healthy. They were devoid of any kind of a fear. There was no scarcity. And it is said that men never saw the death of their children, and women never saw the death of their husbands. So when you have the right king who is ruling, these things will happen. That means younger generation will never die, like before passing away of the parents. And similarly, a woman will never be widowed. That means she will leave before her husband leaves. So in the kingdom of Rama, there was no fear from fire. There were no beings died, who died by drowning in the water. There was no fear from the wind. There was no fear from any disease. There were no problems due to hunger. There was no fear of thieves. Towns and countries were full of wealth and grains, and all the people lived very happily daily. It's like that in the Treta Yuga. And Lord Ram, he with immense fame, he performed 100 horse sacrifices. He gave a lot of gold in charity, he gave 10,000 crores of cows and a lot of wealth to Brahmanas. After ruling this world for 10,000 years, actually it's 10,000 years plus 1,000 years, that is 11,000 years, he returned to Vaikuntha. So the Palashruti, that means someone who heard this narration, Valmiki says, Idam pavitram papagnam punyam vedayescha sammitam ya patedramacharitam sarvapapaihi pramuchyate etadakhyanamaayushyam pathanam ramayanam naraha saputrapautraha saganaha pretya swarge mahiyate pathan dvijo vagrishabhat त्वमीयात् स्यात् क्षत्रियो भूमिपतित्वमीयात् वाणिज्यनः पण्यफलत्वमीयात् जनश्च शूद्रोऽपि महत्वमीयात्. So those who read the story of Rama or listen to this Ramayana, which is very holy, which is capable of removing all the sins, and it bestows all kind of holiness upon a person, and it is equivalent to Vedas, it would get rid of all their sins. Those who read this history of Rama, which gives life, that means if someone is dying on the deathbed and he's hearing it, see, unwarranted death I'm talking, not like the actual, suddenly some death is come, so like that that person would get his life back. If someone don't have the sons or grandsons, they would get it. Even their friends, whoever have listened to this, they will live in heaven after their death. So Brahmana who will read this or who will listen to this, he will attain the mastery in his profession. Kshatriya, he will become a master in his profession. A Vaishya, a businessman, he will get more business, and a Shudra will attain an excellence. So Valmiki listened to this Sankshepa Ramayana, the summary of a Ramayana story, from his Guru Maharaj, Narad Muni, and he became overjoyous by hearing the pastimes. With this, I will conclude today's call. Any questions?
Prabhu, one question I have. So when Ram kills Sugri's brother, I forgot what is his name.
Pali?
Yes. I mean, so that's like, isn't that a cheating?
No, it is not. So when I come to that point in Kishkindha Kanda, I will explain to you in detail, because Vali also asks the same question to Rama. Is it not illegal? It's a legal thing. But Rama gives all the explanation, and Vali himself became convinced that yes, you are right. It is the right thing that you have done to me by killing me.
Okay.
So he himself becomes convinced. So when I come to that point, I will explain. This is just the summary. Okay. All right. So tomorrow onwards, we will again start after this. A lot of things that have happened, interesting things, we will discuss. Any other doubts from today's call? Don't worry about the pastimes in between which are not clear. I'm going to explain everything in detail.
I do have one question, Prabhuji. Thank you for the
Yes.
class. Um, when you mentioned that women will not be widowed because they will die before men. So right now it's the reverse. Women are living longer than men and everything. So what's that? What would be the actual average um, for them to live? You know, like would we like live like would men live like a quarter, uh, like 25 years more, for example, than a woman or something? I'm kind of curious.
You see, it is for a woman, right, to be, it's called Saubhagyavati or Mangalyavati. That means um, to live with her husband is the greatest thing, okay, on a material platform. So they would generally not live. Actually, it's the moment her husband leaves, that is that much of affection that they would have. So they would always wanted to leave the body before her husband leaves. So maybe I'll explain this in a separate call to you. So the average age, if you talk about in Treta Yuga, it is 10,000 years they live. Okay, so maybe after the woman dies, normally when the wife dies, you would see many examples where the husband does not live long after the wife dies.
Wow.
Husband does not live long, so because they are very much attached to one another, so they don't live much longer. And also that we have got is vanaprastha and sannyasa. There are the varnashrama dharma. First is brahmacharya, then grihastha, then vanaprastha. So till vanaprastha, the wife will be with the husband, and when they both think that yes, they're done with this material world, and so the husband takes the sannyasa, the wife returns to her place. And sannyasa, as a sannyasa, he would just roam around all the places, just preaching the glories of the Lord.
Wow.
So many times when the husband leaves the body, the wife may or may not know. And both the wife and husband are in that detached life also. They come to in the vanaprastha stage itself. Before taking the sannyasa, the wife says, yeah, sure, you should go and preach this word to this Bhagavata Vidhi to everyone. And right now we have very good at communication. Those days, not good communication. So normally it is, like maybe after when they're together, it's a different case. But normally the husband also leaves right after the wife leaves.
Wow. No, thank you for the clarification.
Yeah. I'm talking about the ideal families.
That's a fact.
Yeah. All right. Hare Krishna. We'll just chant Hare Krishna mantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. We'll continue tomorrow. Jai Shri Prabhupada.